So for me, the arts and creativity and culture and heritage are absolutely central to our everyday life and our interactions with the world. But more than that, I think that they're really important to include in events like PSP as a form of engagement and understanding. I think the arts can help us understand people's experiences and perspectives, people's histories, people's everyday lives at a much deeper and more profound level than simply gathering traditional forms of data. So statistics and even qualitative data like interviews, of course, they're important and they're necessary and they help us understand people. However, to really get to the nuances of everyday life and people's experiences, the arts can be incredibly powerful and transformative, and you can really understand somebody, and therefore you can understand broader issues at a much deeper level when you engage in that more emotional, creative way. Yeah, so I've been involved in a few projects which have used the arts really creatively with people and to communicate research findings as well. So there are a couple of examples. The first one was a project called Representing Communities, which was funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council as part of their Connect to Communities programme. And it was a case study project, and I worked on the case study area in Merthyr Tydfil in South Wales. And we talked to people about their everyday health and well-being. The aim of the project was to use the arts and humanities to improve health and health services and understandings of health. And so we worked with a range of different artists and organisations to turn people's narratives and stories into pieces of art, which could then be used to better inform policymakers. And we finished with a piece of theatre called The People's Platform, which was performed by professional actors and community actors in a social club in Merthyr. And it was a performance debate. So it was based on the data that was gathered from the research, but it was turned into a piece of high quality art, which then stimulated debate between the community members of the audience and the decision makers, policymakers that were also attending, and representatives from the arts and cultural organisations as well. And that the feedback that we had from that was that it really enabled people to engage with those issues on a more equal basis. So we had people like the Children's Commissioner, we had Baroness Kate Andrews there, talking with a group of people from Merthyr on the table, facilitated by a young person, about what they'd just seen in the piece of theatre. And that really enabled people to understand each other more so than the traditional forms of engagement between policymakers and community members. And the other example is the Anchor Peoples project, which was, I wasn't so involved in that, but the piece of art that resulted from that was really powerful and has been on several different tours to different locations. And it was based on stories of people working in or engaging with anchor organisations in two communities in South Wales. And the installation was it was an audio of the people's narratives, but it was curated. It was a curated audio of their verbatim interview data. And as you would listen through headphones, you would walk through the installation, which were like larger than life aluminium cutouts of very high quality prints of the individuals. So it was like a multi-sensory installation, but again, something really, really powerful, which really helped for the audience to understand the issues that were facing those community members and community workers.